Jesus Freak here. Now, I've mentioned to some people that I've thought about the possibility of whether I could look into getting some sort of an ordination. Not an ordination mill kind of thing, because those are meaningless. I mean, there's stuff like the Universal Life Church, which just exists so people can get credentials to conduct weddings, and even those are illegal in certain states. Um, that's not the kind of thing I'm looking for. I was thinking, I'm not I'm not looking to become a minister or anything in the sense of, having a church, doing sermons every week, stuff like that. But if I were to go through with something like that, the main reason for doing such a thing is that my projects, such as they would be, might be taken more seriously. And maybe that's not really a good reason to go for it. But the big problems I've seen, other than, the obvious issues of, money, time, whatever, the biggest possible issue is that, from what I've heard, a lot of seminaries really aren't cut out for people who are really serious about this thing. They teach you a lot of stuff that's guaranteed to test your faith, to put it mildly. And I mean, there's some things I expect that any, reputable seminary is going to just take for granted. And I'd say if I were to look into a seminary in my own church, they probably don't take any of that for granted. Stuff as basic as the idea of resting your authority on the Bible, or the idea of the cohesion of Torah, that the entirety of it was written by Moses and not by 4, 5, 6, even more different authors. Not every ordained minister has gone into ministry in the traditional sense. People of my generation are probably familiar with one particularly famous example of someone who didn't. That would be Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers' neighborhood was literally his ministry. He was ordained in order to do Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. That might sound a bit weird, but that's exactly what it was. So it's more like, just trying to say, yeah, I'm serious about this. I'm not just some Joe Schmo who happens to keep my head in the Bible a little more than other people do. That I have actual things that I need to do. And having that little piece of paper for whatever it may be worth, I'd be taken seriously for serious efforts. And maybe it's a little presumptuous of me to want something like that. But in the end, it's not about me. It's just about making it easier to do whatever it is I'm here to do in God's name. Just just a little thought I've had on my mind for a few days. And I've been thinking of it, on and off for a while. Years, actually. Jesus freak out.